Hey guys, Brian at PS4 Trophies, and I'm going to show you how to get 100% of the story in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. This will earn you the Completionist trophy. Now you have to do it in a single playthrough, and this playthrough is everything I did. Everything in this video is 25 minutes long, so I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick. I hope you guys have little knowledge of the land. I really don't have the time to hold your hand going from one location to the next. Otherwise, this would be an hour-long video. Now, things that aren't included in this 100% story are things like the maps, the Graffiti Chads, and the bird books. Those aren't required. But what is required are the radios, as well as the phones, ringing phones and non-ringing phones. And then, of course, the story stuff, the stuff that you have to use your motion controller for, and things that you have to initiate by proximity, just getting close to it. So let's start off here in Yaunton. This is actually at the very beginning of the game. There's a radio in here and a computer monitor. Interact with both of those. Now we're going to leave here. And again, this is going to go real quick, so just kind of be patient there. But I just picked up the phone there. You can hear the ringing phone. Now there are phones that aren't going to be ringing that I believe you have to pick up. And I'll again cover all of that. Now here's our first main story arc orb here that we got to interact with our motion controller. And then just a little bit past that is what I call a proximity event, if you will, and that is just by being close to a certain area where a conversational event will happen. As you can see, it's actually behind me. There it is. So we got a ringing phone booth here. We're gonna go and just open this door, and a conversation here will start through the phone.
Who's that? Hello? Kate, if you can...
And then just a little bit past that, the bus stop is another story event here. You got to use your controller for. And then the first house on the left side of the town has a radio in the backyard. So go ahead and listen to that, press X. In the second house on the left side, there's a couple things in here. In the room to the right, there is a proximity event. You just have to be close to it to trigger it. There's also a TV. Turn that on. And then we're going to go into a room over here on the other side, and there's going to be a phone. This phone isn't going to be ringing, but when you do pick these up, you get a whole bunch of series of numbers, 0, 1, 1, 0, are spewed at you. So continuing up the road, I'm going kind of clockwise around. You got the store there. Make sure you do that event. And then you got the community center just a little further north of there. This is a proximity event, so just walk in here and it'll start. And then if you go to the back side of the building, there's some stairway down to the basement here. And once you get down here, another proximity event will occur. Now again, I mentioned we're going through this quick because there's a lot of things we need to do. Now behind that community center is that white house over there on the left, in the big grass field here, and you can see the tractor. And on top of a barrel right behind the tractor is a radio. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go into that white house, and then there's a few things we have to do in here. First, right outside is a proximity event.
There are too many empty houses tonight.
And then once you're in here, you have another TV, and then we're going to go into the other room and pick up a phone. Now, if you do want a guide for all the other maps and bird books and everything, I do have those videos on my channel, so make sure you go and check those out. Now there is one more thing we got to get up here, and it's up on the second floor in this open bedroom, or I guess an office. There's that computer, so interact with that monitor. Now right next to the community center, there's this house in the backyard. There's a radio, and then you swing around to the church and a proximity event will start. And then next door over there is going to be another event. So you just walk in here and that'll start that. Couple more doors down, and the side of the house is going to be a camper here, and inside of this is going to be a radio. And then next door to there is another white house. If we go inside of here, we are going to find, I believe, a phone. We have actually a story motion control event. And then you go upstairs, and then there's a phone. So there's two things in here that are part of the story. So going across the street, you have the auto repair shop, and in the back corner is another proximity event.
Meg?
And then if you go to the doctor's office, There's another event in here as well as a computer.
Dr. Wade, here you are.
There's also a bird book in there in the waiting room. So there's the event and there's the computer, so make sure you interact with both of those. And then if you go around the side of the building, there's a car with a phone. Now some of these things, I don't know, maybe they do or don't count towards the trophy, but I'm just showing you everything that I did, and I earned the trophy. Alright, continue around. You have this house here. I had the infinity sign on the red door. And if you go to the backyard, you see the red swing chairs over there. There's another event once you get close enough. And then nearby is the blue house. You can see it from the front as well. But if you go to the backyard, you're going to find a radio. And then if you go towards the bar, which you passed at the very beginning, in the parking lot, another proximity event. And then behind the bar, underneath this umbrella, is a radio.
I keep looking.
Now, if you go to the park, there's another proximity event here. I had to kind of search around here for about 30 seconds before it finally appeared. And there it is. And then from there, on top of the bridge, is going to be another motion controller event. And this is going to progress the story here, the Jeremy part of the story, at least in this section. So we go back to the church, and then you're just going to follow this guy up, and then you're going to go into the church and do another motion controller event, and that'll end the entire section in Gone. Now we're going to Tipworth Forest. Once you come out into the forest, the first thing you'll come across is this house. So in this house is another major story event. And then after that, we're going to go towards the main road. We're going to cross the main road, and there's going to be a proximity, I guess a side event, if you will. Not part of the main story. And then go continue forward to the house with the tree house here, and then climb up the ladder, and there's going to be a radio. Now there are a couple things in the pathways, the shortcuts behind that house, but we can't access them until later, so we'll have to double back for them once we get to the farms. But continue up the road, and there'll be a phone on top of that car. Just to the left is this house here, and a ringing phone. You'll hear it. And then the next house down is going to be another side event here, a proximity event rather. And then continue down the road, and then you're going to have another one of those proximity events. And this is kind of a two-stage thing, so you want to go in through this door, and then you'll trigger another event once you cross over this bridge. And then from here, we're just going to continue following the path up to this little park, and then here's going to be another motion controller event. So we're back on the main road, or heading down on the main road. And then there's a bus stop here with a radio on it, so go ahead and interact with that. And then you'll come to this bridge. You'll trigger this event automatically. You won't miss this one. And then after you've done that, there's you see some stairway up here on the left. And then once you get to the top here, it'll trigger another proximity event. Alright, so now we're actually close to the trains. The trains were on the left side. If you take a path to the ponds here on the right, come back here, and then there's going to be another motion controller event. So now we're going back up to the train station here, or the trains, and you go up into this little office building here. Howard will start talking. Now you can see I'm kind of backtracking a little bit because I passed this, but go back here to the end of the trains here, and then there's another motion controller event. Then you hop back on the main road. You'll see your last group of houses. The first one on the right. Inside of the garage will be a silver radio.
Rachel, darling.
And then across the street, you're going to see another radio on some cinder blocks. And then we're going to go into the house of this yard. And in this house, there's going to be a couple things here. First is go to the right, and then there's a TV, so turn on the TV. Not entirely sure what that does, or even if that even counts towards a trophy. But again, I'm just showing you everything I did, and I got the trophy. All right, in that same house, go up to the second floor, go into this bedroom, and you got another proximity event. So go back on the main road. You got the car, the red car, over in that little side road here to the left. Approach that car, and it'll trigger a proximity event. And then go in the house right beyond it, and then go up the stairs. And then there's going to be a radio and a monitor in this back bedroom. Again, check out my channel for all the guides for the maps and all the other things that aren't required for the 100%. So there's the radio. And then if you look behind you, there's going to be two monitors, one of which will turn on, the other one is broken, apparently. And then after that, we're going to go outside here and finish up this section, kind of the main story thing, and then that'll end the forest area, and then we're going to the farm. And then when you come out, you'll see that you'll see the orb trail over here, indicating there's something over here, which is going to be a proximity event. So go to the big tree in the wheat field, and there's going to be another main story motion controller event. And then I'm going to go and follow the path off to the right. This is by the pond. You see the house out in the distance. We're right above the waterfall, and there's a radio on that blanket. Then continue around the pond, and inside this little mini caravan is going to be another event here. Part of the story. And now we're going to do a little backtracking. We're actually going to head towards the secret path that takes you back to the forest and the town as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to jump over this fence, and then you're going to come to a split in the path. And at that split, a proximity event will occur. And then after that, we're going to go down the right path, heading into the forest again, and you'll find a silver radio. So that's it. Now we're going to kind of go backtrack to the farm, go around that house, and then go up this path here. And at the top, you're going to see this bench. This is where the proximity event occurs.
6 weeks after.
Now I'm going to just keep following that path around into the down until you get to this building here, and then climb up the silver ladder for the radio. Now I'm going to do a little backtracking and go to the white house that was on the corner of the road. And here in this shed is the radio. After that, we're going to go upstairs, and then you have a motion controller event up here, part of the main story for Frank. Alright, so once you're done there, leave the house, go across the street, and then back here, you have another event, and then go around to the back of that building, and then follow the fence line up on the left side, and then you're going to come across the radio. Make a 90-degree turn to your right and head towards this building in front of you. And then an event will automatically start. Now I'm just following the trail that was right behind it. Follow it straight. This is on the left side, the back side, the top side, I guess, of the farm area, and you'll come across this automatic playing proximity event. Alright, now we're going to continue around. There's the map over there, there's a shortcut as well. And then you have this last building. This trail orb should lead you here. And then all you need to do is go to the back, and then you have to use your controller to activate this one. So now I'm going to kind of jump back a little bit, kind of backtrack and get to the main road. Down this road is a automatic triggered event that's closer to the White House. And then further down the road you have the blue car, again another proximity event. Hop into the wheat field, head towards the rusted out gray van. Interact with that radio, then follow the path along towards the windmill. And on your way there you will see this. This is another main story Howard event. And then after that you're going to finish up Howard's story arc up by the windmill. And then we're moving on to the Lakeside Holiday Camp. As with some of the other ones, the first thing you'll come across is a motion controller event. And then after that, go into the administrative building to the right, and you'll hear the phone ringing, so answer the phone.
You can't save them.
Now head back out. Now I'm going around this camp clockwise, so starting off towards the left, you'll see this event here, another one of those auto-playing events. And just a little further on, this is the first caravan. So go into here, this is Lizzie's caravan, and there's one of her story arc orbs. And in the same caravan is a TV, so turn that on. And we're just going to follow the path around to the left, and we're going to come to the tennis courts. Before get to the tennis courts, you have a radio here in the grass. Then you have to go into the tennis court to get another one of those proximity events.
Hey, it's just been on the radio that they're closing the...
And then just past outside the tennis courts, go to the buildings on the left side, over by these picnic tables, and you'll have another event there.
I know that's no...
Follow it around, and you'll come to a couple of these trailers here, or caravans. And in this one, these are the first set you'll come to. And inside of here, open this up. Use your motion controller to activate this. And then you're going to move on to this. I don't know what this thing is called. It's a tiny little soccer field, though. I'm sure there's a technical name for it. But that'll trigger another automatic playing event.
Yeah, it is.
And then just off of there is some more of these caravans with the orange tents. And there's going to be a radio in this one right here.
I tried to leave the
Now across the street, you're going to come across to the laundromat. So go inside of here. You have another automatic playing story moment here.
Really talking at the moment.
And then I'm backtracking a little bit. Kind of skipped this in my recording, but there's a ringing telephone booth.
Hi, this is Kate Collins and Stephen.
So I'm going to backtrack slightly for this. Again, I'm showing you everything I did in the order I did it. Now just a little bit later on, you're going to have these orange or yellow posts, and that leads you down into this kind of tunnel area. Follow this around. I probably should have gone about this from the other side. So this is going to lead you to a very well hidden proximity event. So what I'm going to do is get this, and then I'm actually going to go backtrack all the way back out the way I came in, because I'm kind of on the other side of the camp at the moment. So once I backtracked, I'm coming to this area with all the tents. There's a campfire in the center. It's another major story arc here. So get that, continue around, you'll get to the little mini caravans. There's another proximity story moment here.
Mrs. Graves.
Follow it around, got some more caravans, and the one in the very back is going to contain a radio. And for some reason I couldn't get through this door. But there we go, we're gonna get that and go back out to the main road. Follow it around. There's a playground to the left. Go into the back of the playground to start this event.
They live nearby, don't they?
And then turn around, go across the street to this umbrella. Underneath the umbrella is another radio.
All 5 towers are now up.
Alright, nearby you have this little road here. Bunch of caravans. There's a major story event down here by the fence. And then just to the left of this is a gate. So we're going to go through this gate. This is another pretty well hidden one. There's a map down here as well. And if you go to the map, just past the map to the right of it, you will trigger this proximity event.
She's done a runner.
Don't say that, Reese. She wouldn't do that. Would she?
Alright, so heading back to the main road. A few more things we need to do. Follow it up. You're heading towards the pool, but before you get to the pools, the building here on the right, go through this door. Another auto-playing proximity event.
Bird over at the swimming pool.
What's the 4th one?
And then go to the pool, and then you got the bathrooms just straight ahead. So we're going to go in here and trigger another one.
Let me get that.
I can manage.
Now once you're done in the Lakeside Holiday Camp, because that was everything, you're going to have to go to the main hall, go to the stage, and this is going to end the story arc there. And heading to the final area, Little Tipworth. As you enter it, there's a ringing phone booth. You probably won't miss it. You'll certainly hear it. And then just past that is another proximity event. I don't think you can avoid it. But once you enter the town here, you got Forley's. Go into the first building there on the right. And you'll find a ringing phone in the back. And across the street, you got this house that's under construction. Somehow I opened that other door first. Once you get in here, you have a major story event there. Grab that, leave, and go across the street. Next to Forley's is a radio. Just up ahead the road is a phone booth, and then we're going to go to the house behind it. And when you're in the house, go in the door here to the right, and you have a TV. There's a bird book to my right as well. Now in the same house, go to the back, and you have a phone and a computer. Make sure you interact with both of these. So now we're exiting that house. We're going across the street to the bar. When you get to the bar, just wait for this conversation here.
You look well.
And then follow the path up quite a bit till you get to the train station. You have to take a right at the fork, and you'll get to the train station here. And there's a major story arc event there. Then go back out to the main road, heading towards the gas station. And you'll have this automatic event here, so make sure you get that. And then go into the towards the gas station, and just to the right is going to be a radio. Now we're going to go into Holly's and go inside this red door. There's a ringing phone. And also a computer monitor, so make sure you interact with this. Or a TV, I guess. Alright, so across the street from there is Valley Farm Wholesalers. Go into the office building, and you have another proximity event.
You're a daft old bird.
And then we're going to go into the warehouse just next door. Another motion controller event here. Go up the road a little bit more. You got Howard's house here, and the second floor is a train station. Not required, or train set, not required for this completionist trophy, though. First room here on the right, you have a red phone. Must be important because none of the other ones are red. And right behind you is a TV. So make sure you interact with both of those. Follow the road up to the end, and that'll take you to another radio. Now I'm kind of going a little bit out of my way here. This is by the bunker, the very end of the game. And I'm getting this radio here. And the reason I'm getting it here is because I'm actually going to upload a save to the USB device here momentarily. And I'll explain in just a moment why. Alright, so now we're going to go to the back road over here, behind Holly's. And you have another proximity event. And we're going to follow this road. This is the yellow road if you look at a map. And you have Tipworth and Appleton. And there's a ringing phone back here. Also a shortcut path just to the right. I have a video, by the way, for the Backtracker trophy in case you need help with that. Now I'm heading towards the substation, and this is going to be my last thing I'm really actually have to do. This is the last story event, major story with the motion controller. And you'll see in the bottom right corner it says saving. This is very important. Now that it's saved, and if I go into the bunker, what's going to happen is it's the point of no return. So if you missed anything, you can't go back and get it. So what I'm doing is I'm going into my data handling here. Or I'm sorry, an application saved data management screen. Has to close the game, but that's alright. We created a save. Now I'm going to go to save data on USB storage device. I have a USB plugged into my PlayStation. If you don't, you can do the cloud saving if you like. I prefer USB storage always. I prefer that just because that file doesn't ultimately get overwritten. So we're going to go to copy to USB, and now I'm going to select both my profile and my save. Now I'm going to copy these. So what's going to happen is once I complete the game, if I don't get the trophy, I have to start all the way over from the beginning. But if I don't get it, I can then just go copy those back over to my system, overwrite the existing data, and I can keep looking for it and then finish the game. But once you're into the observatory area, you have to go to each of those 6 different things. You have to interact with all of them. I'm not going to show you. That's pretty self-explanatory. Then you're going to enter here. You have one final thing you have to do. You have to use your motion controller again. And then you'll immediately, as soon as this cutscene starts, you will pop the trophy. And in my case, the platinum trophy as well. If you don't pop the trophy, again, go to your copy that the save and profile data from your USB back onto your system, overwrite the existing data, and you'll be right outside the bunker. Go running around, find what you missed, and then go into the bunker and complete the game once again. So that's everything to get 100% of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.